Okay, time to turn yourself into a zombie. You should have a photo of yourself. I found one of this chap. I think he's in year 8. And we're going to turn him into a zombie. Okay, so let's have a look at what we need to do. To make someone zombified, we need to make their skin grey, perhaps put some bruises on. You can see around his eyes, some darker grey. His eyes need to be white out, and some advanced techniques I'll show you if you fancy having a go is to put the cracks on his face and the blood dripping from his mouth. So the first thing we need to do is turn our zombie grey. That's this tool over here we're going to use. If you hold your finger down on the mouse on this tool, we've got Dodge, Burn and Sponge. It's Sponge we want to use first. What Sponge does is suck up all the colour from the image. I'm going to speed this up by making my brush a little bit bigger, I think. To do that, we're going to use the square brackets that are on the keyboard next to the enter button. Okay, I can make with the square brackets either bracket. I can make my brush bigger or smaller. Right, so that's his face done just about. On his ear. I think I need to get rid of some of the colour in his hair. He's a bit too ginger for a zombie, so let's just take some of that colour out so he looks a bit dishevelled, a bit dead. Right, that's that done. Next job then is to put some bruises on. So the same tool on the side, instead of Sponge we're going to use the Burn tool. Okay, and what the Burn tool does is, well, as you might expect, it sort of burns the colour. So there you go, just a bit around his eyes, make them look sunk in. Maybe I'll give him a bruise on his forehead. There you go. And maybe down the side of his face, under his neck. So there you go, added some bruises to him. If when you're doing this it doesn't seem to be making it much darker, you can go to the top here and put the exposure up higher or lower. Okay, same with the Sponge tool. His eyes, a little bit more tricky. If we zoom in, okay, what we're going to use a paintbrush tool. Okay, so this is a paintbrush tool, and we're going to select a grey colour, not white. Pure white will look a bit too bright, so just a grey colour. Okay, and what we're going to do then is just get the brush the right size and draw some zombie eyes on him. The colour looks a little bit flat, so what I'm going to do after I've drawn the eyes on is I'm going to go back to that Burn tool, okay, and just burn sort of either side of the eye, and that will make it look a bit more 3D. Let's zoom back out again. Okay, brilliant. Right, what do we need to do next? Next thing I think we'll do is add this texture to his face. What we need to do is go onto the internet and find some peeling paint. Okay, copy that image. Okay, I'm going to paste it onto this, which is Control V or Edit Paste. Alright, I need to free transform it, so change the size and rotate it, which is Control T. Alright, so now I can rotate it round, make it cover his face, and when I have, just press Enter to finish editing it. Right, to make it blend into the face, it's dead simple. We need to go to Image, Adjustments, and make it black and white. Just click OK to that. And then, oops, where we've got these the layer blending as normal here, we're going to change it. We'll experiment. We could try Overlay. Looks a bit weird. Soft Light. No. I'm going to try Darken. Darken looks pretty good. The one under it, Multiply. Well, I guess it depends on how much of a crack you want on his face. I'm gonna leave it at that, actually, with lots of cracks on his face. So, looking around here, we need to rub some of this out, don't we? We don't need this bit around here, so we'll go to the rubber tool, make the brush a bit bigger, and then start rubbing out where we don't want it. I suppose I could have left a bit on his neck. Right. I'll take the bit out in his eye. It doesn't look quite right to have the peeling skin on his eye. Yeah, beautiful. Right, to add the blood, if you fancy doing that, if we go back to the internet, find a nice blood splat. If you could find one on a white background, it's really handy. I'll show you why. If we copy that image and edit, paste it on, Okay, where we were doing the blending earlier, we can do the same. I think multiply works really well, or darken. Okay, depends how red you want your blood. I'm going to leave it as multiply. Now I need to make this a bit smaller and move it, don't I? So Control T again for free transform. Where can I put it? I can put it dripping out of his eye. Oh, no, stick it out, coming out of his mouth. Okay, so there you go. I can find another blood splat perhaps and put it on his clothing or coming out of his eye. Might look pretty cool. But there's a zombified Justin Bieber. Right, off you go. Have a go at zombifying you. Okay.